In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Jesus may have said, "I will ask the Father." But my own dad invariably said, "Go ask your mother." My father said, "Do as I say, not as I do." But Mom would say, because she was smarter, "If you loved me, you would do what I asked." This sounds a lot like Jesus, because Jesus tells his own disciples, "If you love me, you will keep my commands." And this just goes to show you that God really is more like a mother than a father. Of course, there were times when all of us here, sometime in our life, we thought our mother was the meanest mother in the entire world. And for many of us, we realize that that's because she didn't give us everything that we asked for. She wasn't as indulgent as we would have preferred when we were kids. For some of us, our memories of our mothers are sentimental, and for others, there's only pain. Some of us feel nurtured by our mother's care of us, and some of us feel resentment because of the nurture we didn't ever get. Some of us remember feeling safe and completely loved, and others remember only insecurity and regret. Whether we have a mother that we remember fondly or one whose memory evokes conflicted feelings, we have all had, at one time or another, experiences of real nurture and love from somebody who mothered us when we needed it most. We've come to learn as adults, perhaps, that mothering has almost nothing to do with biology and almost everything to do with a loving, committed heart. And so on this Mother's Day, we celebrate all of our mothers, everybody who has ever mothered us, those who have nurtured us, those who have dried our tears, saved us when we were in deep trouble, and ultimately have given to us the inner confidence and the love we knew we deserved, and the confidence to move forward. These are really our mothers in the truest sense of that word. God gives us mothers to help us feel safe and secure in a world that is, frankly, kind of frightening. And this sense of trust helps us and sustains us throughout our lives. A lot of kids today are being raised without that sense of security. I know, they're in my classes. They talk to me. And sadly, they will have to wait for their mothering at some future date. And when they find the courage to open their hearts later on and accept the mothering offered to them by other people sent to them by God, they too will find themselves transformed by the mothering presence of our God. The mothers in our lives love us no matter what. For them, it is not a matter of our always following their advice or adopting every single one of their attitudes and beliefs and biases. Mothers allow us to become our own person, even as they try to gently guide us. If you love me, Jesus says, you will keep my commandments. Both Jesus and the mothers in our lives know that living by example is the best way of teaching and guiding. When I was a young boy, wanting to make or buy something nice for my mother on Mother's Day, I would ask her, "What do you want? What would you like for Mother's Day?" And as I think back, I am 100% positive that there was never a time when she said, I want you to go buy me this thing. Not once. It was never any kind of a material gift that she wanted. Usually it was something ridiculously impossible, like, be nice to your sisters. Or worse, do the dishes without any back talk. Oh my goodness. I don't think she ever got those gifts for Mother's Day or any other day. But I have a sneaking suspicion that this is exactly the kind of thing Jesus is talking about. And whether it's Jesus' request or Mom's request, they're just as challenging for me today as they were when I was a kid. Yes, mothers are teachers, mothers are guides, but they are also comforters. Mothers are the ones who care for us when we're hurting or sick. They seem to know the right remedies for whatever is wrong. Sometimes it's Tylenol or Vicks Vapor Rub on your feet. Don't laugh till you try it. And other times it's maybe just a hug or a smile. Sometimes it's allowing us to make our own mistakes. Sometimes it's having her show up at every one of our concerts or performances. And then as now, cookies are always a good thing too. My birth mother, and indeed all the mothers of my life, knew when to ask me questions to get more information and when to just simply remain silent and let me rant and rave and act like a fool. They knew how to comfort and to challenge, how to help me pick myself up and move forward. When I became a parent myself, I realized how difficult and humbling it is to be everything to a child who idolizes everything that I did and thought and said. Whatever illusions we have about our goodness or how competent we are or how wonderful we are, all of that is laid absolutely bare when reflected in the adoring eyes of a child who thinks that we are infallible and that everything we do is the center of their universe. Like I said, I think God is the ultimate mother in our lives. God allows us to move forward at all times and even to fall down on our own, and never steps in to save us from getting hurt. Never just steps in and does it for us like a good mother would do. And if that weren't the case, how would we have ever learned that thoughts and actions have consequences? How would we have ever come to the knowledge and the realization that our choices are 100% our responsibility? And how else would we have come to understand what the nature of love really is about? Love gives us magic and glory and sadness and tragedy and hard lessons, but God knows how to use all of that to help us become better women and men. When Jesus was getting ready to leave this world and knew that he would be leaving his anxious disciples, those crazy guys who never seemed to know what he was talking about until a week after he said it, imagine leaving them in charge of something. And they're nervous about him leaving, and so he reassures them and he tells them, don't worry, I am going to send you the Comforter who will be with you forever. And because neither Jesus nor our mothers can be visible to us forever, God continues to send the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is Christ's presence among us. That word comforter is parakletos in Greek, meaning another one just like myself, or someone who will go along beside me. In the ancient Roman world, a wealthy family purchased a slave to be a paraclete for their children, kind of like a nanny. The paraclete was a constant presence employed to help, to watch over, and to guide the child. He would report on the child's progress to the family. And if the kid got into trouble, the paraclete would actually stand side by side with the child in front of the mom and dad and actually be the champion of the child, pleading his or her case, even sometimes taking the punishment in place of the child. Jesus reassures us, I'm not leaving you orphans. I will be with you in power through the Spirit. I will not leave you desolate. I will come to you. And when he says those words, I will come to you, he isn't just saying that he's going to come to fetch us at the moment of our death. He's really saying that the Spirit of God is his presence in the here and now. And so we can be certain that God is not going to abandon us ever. God will always be behind us, in front of us, on our left, on our right, above and below. This is the same Holy Spirit, the same miraculous divine power that inspired all the mothers in our lives, all the people who have, through their loving example, shown us a glimpse of God's heart. And we are grateful, and we are blessed, and we are made whole in the process. And just as we have been blessed and made whole, we also step up, and we agree to accept the role of becoming a mother to others as well, always following the promptings of that same Holy Spirit. I'd like to end today's homily with a song for all of our mothers. To me, turned a baby into a young man. And Mama, all you had to offer was the promise of a lifetime of love. Now I know there is no other love like a mother's love for her child. And I know a love so complete someday must leave, must say goodbye. Goodbye's the saddest word I'll ever hear. Goodbye's the last time I will hold you near. Someday you'll say that word and I will cry. It'll break my heart to hear you say goodbye. Mama, you gave love to me, turned a young one into a grown-up. And Mama, all I ever needed was a guarantee of you loving me. Now I know there is no other love like a mother's love for her child. And it hurts so that something so strong someday will be gone, must say goodbye. Oh, goodbye's the saddest word I'll ever hear. Goodbye's the last time I will hold you near. Someday you'll say that word and I will cry. It'll break my heart to hear you say goodbye. But the love you give will always live. You'll always be there every time I call. You are to me the greatest love of all. You take my weakness and you make me strong. And I will always love you till forever comes. And when you need me, I'll be there for you always. I'll be there your whole life through. I'll be there, this I promise you, Mama. I'll be your beacon through the darkest night. I'll be the wings to guide your broken flight. I'll be your shelter through the raging storm. And I will love you till forever comes. Goodbye's the saddest word I'll ever hear. Goodbye's the last time I will hold you near. Someday you'll say that word and I will cry. It'll break my heart to hear you say goodbye. Till we meet again, until then, goodbye.